Hey guys, how's it going? Well, today I'm going to do something special. I'm going to talk about another movie I saw. This movie came out in the theaters. I didn't want to watch it. No interest in watching it. Until yesterday, I decided to, out of the blue, let me watch this movie. Okay? The movie's called Eternals. The reason what sparked me to watch this movie was the fact that I was watching one of my figure reviews and he was reviewing the figures of the wave. And I was like, oh, those are nice looking figures, but I would never buy them. And trust me, they're what they call peg warmers. They're still sitting there. The movie didn't do that great in the theaters either. It's one of the first MCU movies that didn't do very well. It did okay, but not very well. One of the reasons why, because no one knows these characters. No one really knows these characters. Only people like me might know these characters, like the Eternals. Now, here's a problem. If they tied that in with the Avengers, they alluded to the Avengers, which is good. But the thing is, they didn't tie it to the Avengers. So this is like a separate own story. I thought this was going to be a one and done story, but they left it open to where it could be a sequel. Basically, Eternals, the comic book storyline that I can remember is the Eternals are these big galactic entities that create universes, so to speak. Very dangerous, very deadly, and super powerful. In the comics, Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet beat some of them. So that's how powerful the Infinity Gauntlet really was. Now, what happened is that they go to, there's certain planets that they call seeds or something for some strange reason. And what happened is that the Eternals was created to fight these things called the Deviants. And that's all the history that I know of that, per se. The one thing I do know is that in the comic books, the Eternals are slightly tied with Thanos. Slightly. And I can't remember why, but anyway. So they were sent to Earth to protect Earth from the Deviants. They're immortal people with these godlike powers. So they were treated kind of like gods, but they lived among them. Unlike the normal gods, per se, So what happened? They lived among them, and then what happened is their way is we don't interrupt their way of life. Now, mind you, we live among the humans. We can interact among the humans, but we don't interfere with their development, and we don't interfere with their domestic disputes and stuff. So guess what? One guy, his name was Phastos. He's the mechanical engineer of the group. He wanted to advance human race so much. He said, I create a steam engine. And this is like back in like Babylonian times. It's like, well, no, that's too advanced for him. Okay, I'll give you a plow. It plows land. That's great. And of course, every Eternal has some kind of backstory that they tied in with the movie to show their motivations and everything else, which was funny which was very good in its own little way. And now, originally, I was like, I know I'm gonna hate this movie. But why am I watching it? Because the interest was there. Because I could buy it. I'll buy an MCU movie, but I never bought it. I saw it on Disney Plus. Now, in a way, I feel like, maybe I should buy this movie now. Maybe. I don't know. But the funny thing about it, every Eternal interacts with humans in their own way. And they're sent there to protect the Earth. Now, as the movies goes on, they became disillusioned with their role because we're sitting here to fight deviants. We killed every deviant. Now what? Until they could tell us to go home, we're stuck here. Then all of a sudden, a lot of them integrated themselves with human society in some way, shape, or form. Some some recruits themselves and something like that. One cool thing was that one guy decided to become a Bollywood actor, and it was cool. It was funny because like, I was like, that's pretty ingenious. Okay, one's a history professor. Obviously, makes sense because this person lived for thousands and thousands of years. So why not be a history professor at a school? The other one casts illusions, and she's stuck as a permanent child. She's one of the oldest women in the room, and sometimes she goes to bars. Appears as a adult woman, but when you look at her, she looks like a small child. So you think that she's a small child, but she's older than most of us. And so what happens? The deviant shows up and starts creating havoc. Out of thousands and thousands of years, a deviant shows up, and this deviant's powerful. They can't figure out what's going on. Story unfolds a little bit. Someone had a change of heart. One of the Eternals had a change of heart when they realized what they're doing might be wrong. So basically, the storyline for the Eternals, if you haven't seen it, I will tell you all about it. It's been out for a while. And if you have seen it, whether you like it or not, this is my viewpoint and my version of how I saw it. The Earth is like a womb to a new celestial. So when it awakes, the Earth gets destroyed, and everything. Basically, everybody on Earth fuels this celestial to emerge. And when they emerge, he can create more universes. Then so basically it's like this: sacrifice a planet to create thousands of more galaxies, or save the one that you're on. Everybody's kind of ambivalent because of the fact that, hey, when everyone realized what the true mission was, they're kind of conflicted because they're very conflicted. Because here's the thing. I live among these humans and I like these humans. We got to destroy these. We got to let these humans be destroyed. We get destroyed along with them. But guess what? We get rebuilt. So everything you did is gone. New memories. So the most powerful one, the Superman of them, Icarus, decides to keep on with the plan. Sacrifice the leader to the deviants to make them more stronger. So that way, shit happens. It's so funny. Oh my gosh. I was ripped. I mean, it was 2.5 hours, but the funny thing is when I was watching it, it did not feel like 2.5 hours. I was riveted. I was like, man, this is actually a pretty decent movie. Wow. After the movie was over, okay, here's the thing. You drop a lot of hints of what's going to happen because, well, if they allow this to happen, guess what? No more movies. So you got it. So they gotta interfere. So they do. Sentinel gets put back to sleep, actually turned to stone, and everybody goes back on with their life. Icarus, who was the staunch supporter of the whole action, because that's what he's supposed to do. Like Icarus, he flies close to the sun. He flies in the sun and kills himself because he was in love with this girl named Circe, who could transmute stuff, matter. Love story. It's a love story, action, and all that, all put together. Now, the best part about the movie is that it opens up to be a sequel. And of course, at the end of one of the credits, Cersei's boyfriend, his name is Dane Whitman. Now, why is Dane Whitman important? He's the Black Knight. So they introduce another hero to the Marvel Universe. And when I always say that, they always piggyback on somebody else. A new heroes emerge when they piggyback off of somebody else. It's to help introduce them so they won't just get cold open. So that's good. Celestial appears out of nowhere in front of the Earth. The reigning Celestial that was on her. He kidnaps him and says, I'm going to judge this planet after going through your memories. And whoop, gone. The other Eternals are looking at going to other planets, other galaxies to find other Eternals to tell them the truth and have them turn from their ways. And what happened is Pip the Troll pops up out of nowhere. And I'm like, okay, Pip the Troll, that's nice. Nice comic book Easter egg. But who came out after that blew my fucking mind. Star Fox. Even though all the trouble that Star Fox has, in the comic books, Star Fox, he has the power of suggestion. And he's a lover. So, and he's been around with a lot of women. So here's the question: was it his natural skill, or did he suggest something to these ladies to make them romantic with him? I don't know. That's the big controversy. He shows up in the movie, say, "Yeah, I'm the brother of Thanos and stuff like that." I know what the other Eternals are, and they're in trouble. I can show you to you if you help us out. Boom, end of the movie. Now I'm kind of interested in see what happens next. This is one of those situations where a movie was well written. It was very well written. But the problem was it wasn't well received. Because no one knows who these guys are. That's the downside about it. But anyway, would I recommend this movie? No, I wouldn't recommend this movie to anybody unless you're really interested. If you're really interested, then I'll say, yeah, go ahead. What is that cat doing? With that being, but if you're curious, go ahead and watch it. It's very well written. So but the question is, since you don't know who these people are, and in a way you kind of get a feel for it. One of those kind of things that makes you feel for those characters. Now, after watching, you can see what they went through. You get a chance to emote with those feel some kind of emotion with those characters. So, I mean, personally, in the grand scheme, if you're looking for the typical MCU movie, this is not the one for you. If you're feeling adventurous, this is the one. And with that being said, thank you for watching. If you've seen this movie, let me know down below what you thought of it. If you think oh shit, dang it, tongue tied, mouth dry too. If you liked it, let me know down below. If you didn't like it, let me know down below. Hey, let's have a conversation about it, and I'll see you in the next video.